What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a review of foundation. It's been a hot minute since I actually sat down and did a beauty video. It's been maybe a month. So today I want to do a review of the Catrice All Matte Shine Control Makeup. This is oil-free 18-hour mattifying foundation. On the Catrice website it's described as the perfect base for every makeup, a matte complexion. The All Matte Plus Shine Control Makeup acts like a second invisible skin. Unwanted shine is controlled, the complexion is mattified, and the skin is replenished with moisture. At the same time, the makeup is oil-free, long-lasting, and offers a great coverage to make little skin imperfections disappear. It says it's also slightly reflective, which is great, so it's not like a flat matte formula. Unfortunately, there appears to only be 4 shades, which can't be right. Let me check a different website. I found a different website. There is way more than just 4 shades. There's 14 shades, which is not too bad, and they look like they go pretty deep. The darkest is number 97C, which is Cool Ebony, and then the lightest shade here is number 002N Neutral Ivory. There's a pretty good spectrum of shades. So I have the shade 027N Neutral Amber Beige, and that's just the shade they sent out to me, so I don't really know if it's going to match me. Let's hope it does. It retails for €7.85, which is a really random price. And you can get it from anywhere that sells Catrice makeup, which is like All Care Pharmacy, Pennies, but you can buy it online as well from Just My Look. So I will link this foundation wherever I can. Let's stop blabbing and get this on my face. Okay, you guys know the drill at this stage. If you've been watching me for any length of time, we're going to apply one half with a brush, one half with a sponge, and I'm going to prime one side and leave the other side without any primer, just to see which side performs better, if it does anything to the longevity of this foundation. So I'm going to take an oldie but a goodie, the Professional, and it's been a hot minute since I've used it, so let's get this on my face. I'm going to go with this on the right side of my face. I forgot that this has like a thicker consistency. I'm so used to using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, but I just didn't want to use that today. It comes in this glass bottle, plastic lid, and then it has a pump, which I'm always happy about. So we're just going to apply 2 pumps of that to the back of my hand. I don't know if the shade is going to match at all. It looks quite pale, but it might oxidize, so let's not judge too soon. I'm going to apply with a brush to this side. Okay, so it's definitely a little bit too light. I'd need the shade up. What one do I use in the Catrice? Hang on, let me find my shade that I use. The Catrice True Skin, which is like my favorite Catrice foundation. I use the shade number 046 Neutral Toffee, and that matches me perfectly. So this one's just a little bit light, but I think we might get away with it. And my mirror's so far away, I can't bloody see anything, so let's get a mirror up close. I really like the consistency of this straight off the bat. It's quite nice. It's not drying. It's still matte, but it's not like a dry matte formula, if that makes any sense. It kind of has a bit of luminosity like it already described, and it just looks really nice on the skin so far. I like the undertone of the foundation. It's not too orange and it kind of blends into my skin. Do you know what? I think it actually does kind of match my skin. It might be just ever so slightly pale, but I think I can get away with it. Kind of unified my face. I wouldn't say the coverage from this is like amazing. I would say it's more on the light to medium spectrum when it comes to coverage. It's not like intense full coverage, but it has covered up any redness. I have a little bit of redness around my nose. Don't know why, but it has covered that up. So I actually like that applied with a brush. We'll see how we get on with it with the sponge. Again, I'm just going to do 2 pumps. That should be more than enough, but you never know with a sponge. It kind of eats product. That has given me a decent amount of coverage. So I think there's a little bit more of a difference between the brush and the sponge. The brush has given me more coverage than the sponge, but it's not like too much of a difference. I do think I need a tiny bit more of the foundation just when I'm using a sponge. I'm just going to do what I would always do, and that's apply it with a brush and blend out with a sponge, because that gives me the best coverage in my opinion. Like, there is decent coverage from it. It has gotten rid of any redness on my face, which I cannot stress how important that is to me right now because of the redness around my nose, and I just have a spot and stuff. So getting rid of redness, unifying my skin, I'm all about that life. It's not too drying. I have oily skin. If you guys are new to my channel, probably mentioned that about 5 times in this video. So my face tends to get incredibly oily throughout the day. So something described as a matte foundation I'm very happy about. I think this looks really good on my skin. It has, like I said, unified my skin. It hasn't added too much coverage. It's more so a bit heavier than a BB cream or a CC cream. I'm after having like a good look at this in my bigger mirror, but I can see a few issues with this foundation already. We haven't even got this on our face 2 minutes. I'm liking the coverage from it, don't get me wrong, it looks great. However, it's doing some weird stuff around my mouth area and I don't like the look of that. It's making that whole area look real crappy and kind of like dry all around here, which is so strange, and a bit up here as well. And now I use a brush on this side and a sponge on this side, so it has got to do with the formulation of the foundation and not the tool that I'm using. But I'm not loving it so much looking at it up close in the mirror. Like, it's not at all like the all covered, and it's not at all like the HD where I just feel like my skin looks luminous and covered. This kind of makes my skin look a bit dry and a little bit kind of old and crappy. And the fact it's gathering to like dryness, I don't know what it's gathering to, because like I said, I have no dry skin on my face, so it's just like clinging to itself almost. I don't know if it's evident on camera. It's really hard to see. I know the way that most foundations that I use perform, and I never really have this reaction. Maybe if I get up this close, can you see like how dry it kind of looks around my mouth and just up here? I really hope that you can see. Yeah, I'm just not loving it. I feel dry. To be honest, if I wasn't doing a first impressions wear test on this, I'd take it off right now. I hate the look of it. And that is so rare for me to ever say about a Catrice foundation. I don't think I've ever tried a Catrice foundation that I don't like. And it's the first foundation I've tried in a long time that I don't like the look of it right off the bat. Give it a go. We'll see how we get on. But I just feel like I look like a dry Sahara Desert, weird kind of crappiness under my nose and around my mouth, and it just looks kind of cakey and dry at the same time. So anyway, we're gonna have to just live with it for today. Thankfully I'm not going anywhere, and I think the only person that might judge me is my son. I'll finish off my face makeup and then I'll check in with you. I am here for my first update of the day. This foundation's been on for just over 2 hours, and I've tried all my other products on top, or placed all my other products on top. Just hate how cakey it looks on my skin. I hate the way that everything is sitting on top of it. I feel like it looks so dry and crappy, and I'm not a fan of this foundation, and it's just throwing off my whole vibe for everything like that's on my face. I just feel like I hate my makeup today because of the foundation. Like, it's just spoiling everything. I applied my concealer underneath my eye. I used the Charlotte Tilbury, the Magic Wand one, which I've used loads of times, and it kind of like gathered and creased, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm just having a really bad makeup day, and it's all that foundation's fault. My skin doesn't look great. It looks dry, crappy, and still I'm oily at the same time, so I don't even know how that's happening, but it just has aged my skin. Skin does not look good. Please don't mind my sloppy, messy lipstick. You can kind of see up close. Just, we've seen better days, and I'm not loving the consistency of it. I'm not loving the way it looks on my complexion. I'm not feeling it. Not vibing. I'm gonna continue wearing it for a few more hours, and we'll see how we get on. After 2 hours of wear, I'm not changing my mind. Sorry guys if you like this foundation, just not for me. 6 hours since I applied this foundation. So since my natural oils are kind of coming through, I feel like this foundation looks a little bit better on my skin. Not like much better, but just a little bit. The dryness and the kind of cakiness around my mouth, a lot to do with just how dry or matte the foundation is. It's still not looking absolutely fantastic on my skin, but it's not looking much worse. I am noticing that the foundations kind of emphasize a little bit of texture that I have on my cheek here, and it has sank into fine lines here and just in between my brow and worn off over my nose, but nothing kind of major. Anything that I am noticing isn't too extreme. Foundation actually feels quite comfortable on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that on my skin, so that is definitely a bonus. And I am noticing that, like I said, my natural oils are coming through, but not to an extreme. Especially after 6 hours, I would expect a lot more. So it is keeping its matte effect as much as possible, because not very many foundations do last throughout my oiliness. But I do feel like it looks a lot better than when it did when I first initially applied it. Will I be reaching for this foundation over and over? I don't think so. Like, I can't see myself like having this in my everyday rotation of makeup and reaching for it a lot. I'm not that blown away by the quality of the foundation, especially when Catrice have much better formulated foundations that I just gel with a lot better. Okay, there's like a little bit of wear here, nothing extreme, and you can see where my oiliness is coming through. The primer has done really nothing kind of to hold them back. Same on my chin, and then just a little bit of wearing where my glasses are, but nothing too extreme. I'm not as disappointed as I was earlier, so I'll check in with you guys in a few more hours and we'll see how we're getting on. Hey guys, I hope you can see me. I know it's quite bright here. I have the ring light on, but I'm just here for my final checkup of the night. It's 10 hours since I applied this foundation. It's actually 10 o'clock at night, so that's how I know, because I applied it at midday. Probably won't wear this foundation again. I'm going to be completely honest. I just don't like the look of it on my skin. I feel like I'm incredibly oily right now. Even though I was complaining all day of looking so dry, I just feel like this foundation has aged me about 100 years. I feel like over my lip, it's all cakey, it's rubbed off on my chin, it's just a cakey, hot, horrible mess. And it's been looking like this since just after I did my last check-in, which I think was like at 6 hours. So shortly after that, I was looking at myself and I was like, ugh, I really just don't like the look of this foundation on my skin. It's just not for me. I'm sure like there's a lot of people out there who absolutely love it and it looks great on their skin. But right now I just feel, looking at myself in the mirror, I've seen better days. It is incredibly oily and greasy, and then it's dry at the same time. And I just don't feel happy looking at this foundation in the mirror. I'm not loving it. It's the first Catrice foundation I've ever tried that I didn't like, and I really, really dislike it. It's not like I'm on the fence about it. I just don't like it in any way, shape or form. I hate the way it looks on my skin up close. I hate the way it has accentuated certain areas of my skin, like around my mouth. I hate the way it's aged my skin, and I really just don't like the look of it at all. It's not something I will ever pick up again. It is a great price. I mean, you're only paying €8 for a foundation. If it did work, it'd be brilliant. But I would say if you want to spend only about €8 or €9 on a foundation, there's much better ones. Like L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear is, I think, about €12, and it's always on sale. You'll always get it for between €8 and €10, so I would highly recommend picking that up instead. Or even like some of the other Catrice foundations, the new Essence Stay All Day formula is much better. So the All Matte gets a big massive thumbs down for me. I will not be using it, unfortunately. When I said I wanted to take this foundation off earlier on, I probably should have, but at least we kind of got this far so you could hear my full thoughts. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. The light is so blinding. I'm sitting like right on top of it and I can't push it back any further because I'm like back as far as I can possibly go. Hope that you can make out what I am talking about and just how dusty I'm looking. Not great. So thank you so much guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a bit of a neg review, but I was just being honest. If you guys have tried this foundation and you do like it, let me know how you're wearing it or what you like about this foundation, and definitely help out anybody in the comments below. I reckon if you have dry skin you will hate this because I mean it clung to areas on my skin that I didn't even know I had dry skin on, and like just the emphasis of dryness and kind of cakey, like dusty hot mess that I was looking. I wonder if I put powder on, could it like revive it? Let's have a look see. I just have the L'Oreal True Match powder here. I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna apply a bit of powder just to my chin and in between the brow. Like, I'm still not loving the foundation, but it definitely has gotten rid of any oiliness off my skin. Just looks horrific. Anyway, I don't think there's any saving this, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, and I do hope that this review was somewhat informative and helped you make a decision whether you want to pick up this foundation or not. I love you so much. I'll talk to you very soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.